record. Boom. All right. Booyah. We're back in again.
What's up?
What's up, guys?
How's it going, Kevin?
That was awkward.
I feel like I don't even remember how I got here. I felt like I was dreaming.
You're dreaming?
I'm randomly here.
Yeah. Do you have a little subject that you toy around, like a spinner or something?
I do, yeah. It's Connor, but I can't find him, so it's got to be a dream.
All right, cool. So, as you might know, we're doing a movie club. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
It's gonna be fun. I think movie clubs are gonna be a little bit, kind of easier. We both like movies and stuff.
Just tell me the truth that you just cannot finish a book.
I'm really slow at reading. I'm really like it's ridiculous because I like enjoying the Ryan Holiday book a little bit, and I need to think really hard when I read it. I can't just passively read his books.
Stop the excuses. Come on. Stop with the excuses.
I finished the MMA book though.
Good. Awesome. All right. Cool. So yeah, we tried a book club. Like Jofre is working on his chapters, and then yesterday we were talking about like, yeah, let's do something with a movie, right? And then you asked me about Inception. I was planning on watching it. I actually started watching that on a Sling TV.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving everybody a 1 week of free subscription. So I was joining that, and then they have the Inception on there. I started watching like 20 minutes in. I was like, yeah, this is too mind consuming.
It's heavy.
So I switched to Expendables next.
Yeah.
So I watched the first Expendables.
Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, like the all of the brainless action movie. So
yeah, all the mindless stuff.
Yeah, but since you brought it up, it's like cool. Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about Inception as the beginning of our movie club, and we're gonna do it once a week, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, that's our plan, once a week, and just kind of get it rolling. And I thought Inception was a good film because I think it's been out for around 10 years now. 2009, I think, or 2011, it came out. So it's been a long time, but for me, the movie still holds up really, really well. Like I had the similar experience because I'm like, oh, I watched 30 minutes one night at 2 a.m. This is the mistake. I watched at 2 a.m. I don't know if it was with you or with Rose or something.
No,
or with my roommate. But I'm like, we can't watch this at 2 a.m. Because it's a long movie and you need to invest your time in and have a, just kind of go through it because it's there's so much to focus on. It's there's a lot of things with the plot, so it's a pretty heavy movie to dissect, but it's entertaining too. It's not boring.
Yeah, when I was watching it, how many times have you rewatched it? Just wondering, how many times have you been watching it?
So I've seen that movie 4 or 5 times.
Okay,
but it's been 5 years since I've seen it. So it's been 2015 since I last seen it.
So let's say 5 years later, right? You latest rewatch. What were you feeling when you were watching the movie? What does the rewatch experience make you feel like?
Yeah, so I just forgot how great of a movie it was. We see movies all the time, but I just feel Christopher Nolan. He made The Dark Knight. He made Interstellar, which is actually one of my favorite movies. But it's the way he films it is so I think groundbreaking. The use of the camera.
What did you feel like the last time that you rewatch it? What things that stand out to you?
Well, for me, I just sort of this recent time, right?
Yeah, the last time.
Well, this past week, when I rewatched it, I felt I kind of understood it on a deeper level. I think because I'm older and stuff, it kind of makes more sense. Like time is passing fast, so it's you got to sort of take advantage of it in a way. Or it's what would you do if you were put? Because I feel we all try to escape our lives. If that's through media, if that's through movies and books, to them their escape was through the dreams. But it's if you had the choice to be in the dream state for a long time, would you stay there and would that become your reality? And it just kind of made me think don't we just kind of do that on a smaller level, like all of us, And so it kind of had that impact on me, in a way,
Yeah, I mean, this whole idea of dream. First of all, I did some digging yesterday after I finished a movie. Christopher Nolan, he actually pitched this movie back in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
He first pitched and then they liked the idea, but they didn't follow through with it because the technology wasn't there. Like till this day, like I don't know how they shoot the like the zero gravity fighting scene. I have no idea how they shot that.
That
Right?
was amazing, right? And I don't even think I think a little bit was CGI, but if you look at the special like effects and like the background, the commentary, they explain like they used a rig or something, and they had a rotating like set that would like change directions and stuff.
Yeah, like I still cannot figure out how they do it, but that was the highlight of the situation, right? And then what's
Right.
cool is that like how does a filmmaker make a good movie about dreams,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that just sounds like pretty funky, right? Like how does it work? And then dream within a dream and within a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it
it
was
just
crazy. Like I first I was like, oh, this is super cheesy, but then you live in the idea,
mm-hmm.
and then it's like they have the architects, right? There's an architect, and then someone who builds a dream, and then it's the person's subconscious, the antibodies, right, that protect against the people attacking
Right.
the dream. I think that was super interesting and like a smart way to, so because it's like your body's like fighting it off, you know.
Yeah, like this whole idea. I think we talked about this before on the previous podcast about like AI and simulations. Like, are we really living in a simulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Matrix style, right? Like who knows, right? And this
Very.
movie kind of like I I think because at least for me, it was a lot of energy sucking watching that movie because I'm desperately trying to figure out what's going on. And there was a period of time that I still don't get it, right? Like it was after a while I know, okay, cool, that's what they're doing. So like that kind of how should we frame it, like the confusion.
Yeah.
I think it's like what they're going for. It's just like like it is designed to confuse you. And then
Oh
to
yeah.
the very end, like the ending is that, is he really in the dream or is he in reality, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So I mean, spoiler alert, the movie came out like 10 years ago.
uh-huh.
Do you want me to show you one of the theories?
Yeah, show me.
So I mean, so do you know any theories first about like the end?
I mean, it depends on how you perceive the ending, right? Like, do you feel like Cobb is really like Cobb, like the Leo character? Is he really in the dream, or is he really meeting with his kids, right? Because his kids, the whole film, like the kids did not look at him at all.
Yeah.
And then, or is he in reality? Is the a spinner? It's gonna stop spinning when he's in
Yeah.
reality.
I mean, I saw that, and then when it at the end it sort of shakes, but then it cuts, right?
Yeah.
So when I watched it when I was the first times, like 5 years ago when it first came out, I thought like he was in real life because it is going to topple over. But then I did some digging, and I found this thing where in it he wears a wedding ring in his dreams, but when he's not dreaming, when he's in real life, he doesn't have the wedding ring on. So
Okay.
in the final scene, he doesn't have his wedding ring on. So he's actually living the reality. So there's this thing that maybe the entire movie was just a dream, and he woke up from it in that same situation, which is why it looks similar to. Remember how he first encountered and he left his kids,
Yeah.
and it looked the same thing as the final scene of the movie. It's because he was always dreaming and he just woke up from that dream because he was in limbo for so long. So that's another theory. I think the whole like remember when they got into the business guy's mind on the plane and everything?
Mm-hmm.
I think that still happened. But then there's another theory that it was just that was even a dream too. So
Yeah.
like
I mean, by the end of the day, like it doesn't matter, right? Like
yeah.
that's kind of
Can you
like
see
the
my
whole gist of the movie is that it really doesn't matter because in reality, like that's how everybody is like looking for in terms of meanings and deep situations.
Mhm.
So
Can you see this?
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so this is his wedding ring. He's in the dream. He's not in the dream. In the final scene, it's like he doesn't have the wedding ring on. So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
So he's not in a dream when everything blows over.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of like my read too. From the last scene is because, like when like the last thing, right? Well, second to the last thing when they're on the plane, and then the whole team looks at him like like it's like, oh yeah, like you kind of pulled this off. And then I think it's more like back to reality. And then like the Japanese guy make a phone call like 20 minutes after they touch down, like make the murder charge disappear. And then I was like, maybe that's kind of wishy-washy. I mean, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little crazy. My favorite part is when he goes back to like the old, like in his dream, and the guy's been in there for years because he's old, and they forgot like why they did it in the first place, why he had to come back to him.
Right. The
And it
old
was like,
Japanese guy, right?
yeah, and he's like, he's like, and become an old man filled with regret or something. That was so cool because I don't know, I just liked it, like watching it because it was the first scene of the movie, right? And you don't know what's going on,
Right.
and everything is shaking, but then it ties back to it, and it's because they fall, I think, through the water or something. The van falls in the water, so that's where the water comes from, and everything.
Right.
So
I mean, this whole play on time is really interesting. And then by the end of the day, like it doesn't matter like, what you think the ending should be, right? Like there's this a series that I read is that the female architect, like the young lady, was actually a spy from the teacher or from like the police. Like she's asking questions for the audience, like, what are you doing that? Why are you doing that for? Just trying to figure out if he really killed
really,
his wife or not.
wow,
And
that's
then
pretty interesting.
yeah, and then after he figured out that okay, the wife jumped off the building by herself, well, she was confused, and
Yeah,
then cops are able to get out of the murder charge.
yeah.
That was one thing that people are talking about too. So
I thought it was great, yeah, because it's like whatever, he had something haunting his dreams, right?
yeah,
And it's like he couldn't like bury those memories, so he needed to in order for him to wake up. You know what I mean? To let go. So
yeah,
it's really good. Like the script is good. It's a good action movie too. It's not like boring at all. It's slow at times,
I
but
think
I think it's a great film.
like the whole like the mountain, like the Aston mountain chasing and shooting thing. I think those are kind of like weird. When I was watching, I was like, yeah, sure, they're like fighting, right? Like like cops like sniping everybody. It's like,
Yeah,
it's not really, but like the floating fighting thing is actually pretty cool. So
yeah. No, it was awesome. Christopher Nolan, a lot of his movies are similar. When he uses his cameras or with the scripts and stuff. Like, have you seen any other ones besides like The Dark Knight?
yeah, we saw Dunkirk, right?
Yeah, Dunkirk. I forgot about that one. It's a good movie. That one was a little slow, I feel like. You know?
Well, it's just about the good guys, shaking and like shivering, right? Like you kind of other people, but like yeah, it's a different flavor of it, I guess. So
Yeah, there's this other movie I really love. I don't know if it's here. No, it's not here. It's under my brother's bed. I have all the movies there, but it's Interstellar. Like sort of similar like time, but it's different.
mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've heard about it or not, but
Yeah, I watched a long time ago, and I don't remember much of it. So
yeah, so like he goes like the whole world is like running out of resources, so they're sending people into space, and it's to sort of find a place where they can move all the humans, or plan B to just start humanity over again, right?
right,
So it's like the whole point of the movie is for him to get back to like his daughter and stuff, because that's what really matters at the end of the day, So it's pretty. That one I really like a lot. I really like that movie a lot. I used to like it a lot longer when it first came out, and I watched it like 8 times probably, that one. But
yeah,
yeah, the soundtrack to it is so good. It's super like emotional too, just kind of tugs at your heartstrings and stuff.
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, he is probably just like a movie wizard, like a like a director wizard. And then there's another thing that I found out with the Inception is that like the whole dynamic of the team, like it's like a dynamic metaphor for the filmmaking process.
For the what?
Like the cops, he's like the director, so he's like Nolan, and then Arthur, like the well-dressed guy, kind of slick, like with the hair laid back. Arthur, he's like the producer.
Really? That's funny.
And other people are just a cast of the filmmaking. And then in the movie Inception, when they are deep in the dream, like when cops like flip at Arthur, and then they're talking about it, just like Christopher Nolan being mad at the producer or something went wrong.
That's cool. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. So
I never looked at it that way. I can kind of see it though.
Yeah. So I mean, it is a pretty good movie. Like it's a very brave. I think it was a blockbuster when it first came out, like 10 years ago.
It had great reception.
It's a movie about dreams. I mean, like, come on, right? Like,
yeah. I have the stats pulled up here. So the movie, let's see. So it came out 2010. It has like high ratings, like all around. It was made for 160 million, and it made 829 million dollars at the box office.
There you go.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then most people think about Inception. They think about it as like it's a Christopher Nolan's movie. Like they don't think about it as like Leo DiCaprio's movie.
Oh yeah, no, and it was because after the Batman movies came out 2 years after, I think, The Dark Knight. So it was like it released in IMAX theaters as well. So I feel like the movie portrays to an average moviegoer just wants to see something good with like action. Yeah. And also people that I like more technical films, like the way they use cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
Just kind of smart filmmaking,
That's what I mean. It's because it's so out of the regular frame of the situation. So most people, because if you think about the film, you talk about like who's the lead actor, right? Who's the lead actor, right? And this one, it's a Christopher Nolan's film. Like somebody argue it's one of his best film, like top 3 films of all time, pretty much.
Yeah. Have you seen Memento?
No.
I haven't either. I heard that we should watch that actually in a few weeks. I heard actually that.
Sure, we can.
I haven't seen it either. I started 20 minutes and I haven't finished it.
Cool. Yeah, we can figure something out. But yeah, definitely it was fun to rewatch it. Like I don't remember the snow chasing scene at all.
Really?
I remember from the first time I remember the dream, I remember the floating fights and then the spin. That was it. So
yeah. No, my uncle was obsessed with that movie when I was younger. 2011, that was like I don't know how old I was. I was like maybe 13 or something, but he would watch that every night. And so I would watch the beginning. No, but then I would fall asleep. He would watch it at midnight. So I would watch the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes and fall asleep. So all I remember was the house scene. And then the guy's old,
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
And then you kind of get got hooked onto the film as well afterwards, huh?
Oh yeah, no. I mean now I really like it. Like I like it more older than when I was younger for some reason.
Yeah, that makes sense because you're getting more mature and like the whole idea of like a space and time is interesting.
And I think the relationship too, it's like, oh, like you're supposed to spend your whole life with me, and he didn't do it, Kevin. Right. He left it, and it was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, because I think he deep down he knows that it was a projection. It's like not real, right? Like the real stuff, like she already killed herself, and that was it.
Yeah, that was crazy. That scene was pretty shocking too when it happened.
I mean, like that's true. Like when you are building different layers of dreams, and it's very easy to get convinced, right? It's very easy to get brainwashed into thinking about, okay, like is this my reality now? Like what is my like interest on those lines? So
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. No, yeah, I really liked it. Probably 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. I don't know. I think I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10, man.
10 out of 10? Wow.
I think this is my style of like movie, like a little bit of action, like the cinematography and stuff. I like sci-fi. I really like sci-fi.
Okay.
What about you?
It's a good movie, like maybe an 8 out of 10 or something.
Yeah.
I do feel like for like most people, like they probably watch it for the first time, they probably may not get it.
Yeah.
They're being captivated by like the floating fight scene, the whole like zero gravity, and then the assumption about that they might not be able to dive into it, like get a message right off the bat. So it's definitely a movie that the more time that I pass, like I have never seen that movie after it first came out like 10 years ago. So it definitely gets better with time and gets better with
Rewatches.
maturity as well. So
Yeah, you get different things. I feel like it's a book. When you read a book again later on in your life, you pick up different things, and it
yeah,
means different things. And I feel like
definitely.
that's what Ryan Holiday said is perennial, something that lasts forever, that
Yeah.
transcends time. Like The Great Gatsby, right? It transcends time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Very, very true. Yeah.
cool.
All
What's
right. Should we wrap this up?
do you have anything else to say, or you want to like announce the next movie? You have any movies in mind you want to watch?
We can talk about it offline, and then we can watch it, and then we can just do it off the line. Like we don't need to
Okay.
take this time to decide.
All right, perfect.
All right, cool. This is Keven
Thank you.
signing off.
Yep.